Hi, today we will learn how to teach utthan pristhasana or lizard pose as we call it to our students. So I generally sequence my lizard pose along with pigeon pose because they both are great hip openers and it's easy for the practitioner once they have done a pigeon pose to enter into the lizard pose because it is a deeper hip stretch. So how do we do that is, like I told you in the last video, for the pigeon pose, you ask your students to come into a plank and then bring their foot outside their hand. You can start with the right side first. I'm doing the left side so that it is easy for you to observe. So ask them to bring their right foot outside their right hand. For beginners, you can ask them to drop their knee down and stay here. And for intermediate students, you can ask them to keep their knee off the mat. To go further, tell them to bring their forearms down or their elbows. Keep their knee in the air, keep their spine straight, hold this pose for 10 slow counts. Feel the stretch in their right hip muscle and then slowly come back on their palms and take their right foot back into plank. Then repeat the same thing with the other side. They can either bring their elbows down, hold it for 10 counts, or they can drop their knee down for a simpler variation and then come back to their plank. One small tip, when you sequence your asanas for a class, sequence them in a way that your students are able to transition from one pose to the other pose in a flow. So pigeon and lizard are one example where you can make your do pigeon and then ask them to combine it with the lizard. And as I always say, teach with patience in your mind and a smile on your face. It goes a long way. Happy teaching.